Delighted to get this on. Technical problems as normal. Anyway, this video is about. I just need to sort the dog out now. Right. Well, Britain and propaganda matrix. It possesses people's minds. The propaganda. Noble cause is to free them from free ourselves, free us, free British people from their propaganda that possesses their mind. I made a video in the US earlier. This one's a bit different, but nevertheless, I like this quote from Caitlin Johnston in regard to the US empire. Extract. She says, "It's never about the US president, it's about the US empire. The president's just a label. They never do anything. Only the empire does all. And the people, they don't count at all." But I said this is about the UK, this one. And obviously there'll be some similarities with the US, but not all similar. The US is like an empire. Being is very territorial. The US is an empire. It's a military state. The UK is similarly a military state, but not as nowhere near, not just America, obviously. And most greater similarity is the propaganda matrix, the news media, where the power is, the megaphones, whereas the rest of us don't have free speech. We don't have equal speech, so we don't have free speech. Is just enslaved speech. It's the ideas put in our heads. The oligarchy, that's similar. The US is obviously a secret state. And both nations share in common they're not peaceful. They're not equal. They're not based on equality and peace. They're based on inequality and violence. They're not based on cooperation, and this is what I think people are naturally cooperative, and that the propaganda matrix distorts that cruelly. So like if people meet in the streets, they're cooperative, and when they're not, it's because the propaganda thing that's in their head, it's come down from the billionaire news media owners, and it's been put in their head in their people's heads because the billionaires want to set the agenda. That's where the conflicts come in. So, for example, if you're all about money getting to the people, about poor redistribution, most people prefer the poor to get money, but nevertheless, some people have been propagandized and they don't agree with that, and they think, oh no, people should work harder, blah 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 blah, and therefore you've got a split. That's where the propaganda matrix causes a problem, and culture wars as well. And if say you had even with celebs, when I'm a celebrity, get me out of here on TV, I think that's very cooperative. That's where the way they interact. It's only if they bring in something from the news media that's been thrown about for poisoning the water, that's the only time they start to fall out and they cause conflict. So usually in life, it's the billionaires that are making people fall out down below, in everyday society. So like it's a shame that, because they're doing it for themselves. They're not making us fall out for our good. You know what I mean? That's a myth. They don't have any sleepless nights over us. They're doing it for money and for profit. Some people think they're doing it because they want to give us free speech and they're generous, like they're giving us presents. That's just naive. It's not free speech, it's enslaved speech. Billionaire news owners do not think, how can I make the people better, feel better? Not bloody psychologists. They're just bloody profit seekers and power seekers and status seekers. They don't care. Come on. Anyway, this is the propaganda that gets people's heads, and of course, it has to have some success. Otherwise, it wouldn't last, would it? It's smart, but there's no conscience there. It's built to last. but there's no conscious science. It's science. It's almost a perfected science. It may even be a perfected science. It's gone on for decades and decades and decades. It will have been perfected probably in World War II, if not before. But World War II must have been very good time for the growth of this. Now, to the solutions though. Well, if we were to get power, we'd have to be the first to give it up. I mean, first in history, which is always therefore my worry, because, I mean, you know, the lure of the state superstructure and the propaganda matrix, it's not that those that are in it are worse than us. That's the worry. So if we get it, we have to be different, even though I don't actually think this is just, this is just people. So this is like power that's corrupting. It's not that they're genetically worse or something. So this is the problem, but we have to be different. We must be. And the inquiries would be required into the state superstructure, explaining the propaganda matrix. This is how we could be different, because if we're planning on being different, if we're planning on explaining how this works, then we've got an excellent opportunity, and we need to have them inquiries into the history of the state superstructure, the propaganda matrix, what it's done to people. And as them inquiries are happening, that's the education of the people. We educate the people through those inquiries. We do it on the news media inquiries as well, about how they've done the same at the national level. So it's cooperative, and we teach in cooperation through, rather than this, by teaching the science of the propaganda matrix, which is not cooperative at all, is it? It's exploitative. So this science of propaganda, is that people learn that this will be very good for them. It'll be healthy. Like I say, it's a noble cause. I put in the title. It's good for them, their agency, their individual self, because it's not good to have possessed up here. It's better to not be possessed, to be free, to be mentally free. Of course, this is a profoundly noble cause. Now, this noble cause, just think, what is more important? Not many things in life are more important. Maybe having water if you're in a boiling hot desert and you're dying of thirst, but there's not many things that are more important than providing people with a free mind, not a brainwashed, propagandized mind, just for the sake, so those at the top can give us a fake democracy, fake freedom, while they absolutely preside over us, and for the benefit of themselves, they propagandize us and give us fake free speech, while what in reality they're doing is giving us profoundly enslaved speech, using megaphones to do it. Now, another thing I think we need to do is I wouldn't physically destroy Parliament and Downing Street, but it might as well be. But I mean, I wouldn't. Just to get this clear, not a Guy Fawkes thing, but it'd be the same end result as what Guy Fawkes might have wanted, in the sense that I want people not to point to there and say, there's power. I want decentralize, as I said in the US video, to people's courts. So like juries, and hopefully they're boring as hell, like the sound, because it's not about showbiz. It's not about power and stuff. So it's about getting rid of all that, so that people have a free mind. You cannot get more important than a free mind. So yes, we have to take power, but we're taking power in order to free people's minds, and that must be done. And if it's not done, people are just left hypnotized. People don't know they're hypnotized. And there's some joke, I can't remember how it goes, so don't think it's going to be a funny joke. Just like, get it, if you know what I mean. American and Russian meet up. The Russian says something like, our news media in Russia has got tons of propaganda, and the Americans nodding along. And the Russian says, mind you, it's true for you lot, isn't it? You've got propaganda in the States. And the American goes, no, we haven't. And the Russian goes, exactly. I don't know if you get that joke, but I get it. Like I said, it's not ha ha ha, but it's meant to get the point across that the best propaganda is propaganda that you do not know is there, you do not know exists. It's the end of the video.